Hey, this is Sully for Anti-Social News Body Count Report, and this is the Body Count Report for Monday, October the 9th, 2017. And I'm going to be taking you around the world showing you life or death news stories. Those are the only ones that really matter, in my opinion, which is why I started doing this show about 10 weeks ago. And this is episode 51. All right, so should we wait on talking about the MPA? Yes. Once again, we're not starting with that. We're starting with this interesting story. Danish police find decapitated head of Swedish journalist. All right, this is a very disturbing story. I'd like to thank Elliot in the Morning on DC 101 for enlightening me to this story. This fella, Peter Madsen, is an inventor over there in Europe, and people thought of him as the Norwegian owner of Tesla, Elon Musk. They thought they'd call him that because he made his own submarine and it was quite the accomplished self-made engineer. And then this reporter was snooping around, wanting to interview him, and winds up dismembered. Not just dead, but dead and dismembered, and her body disposed of. So he tried to say it was an accident, which I don't know if you've ever dismembered anyone. I know I haven't, but I know that it's generally referred to as something that is intentionally done, not an accident. So this guy is very much guilty. They've now found her head. They found her torso a while back. Incredibly disturbing story. Now let's move to the Middle East. I'd like to point out this is Times of India reporting, and this story is about a Danish inventor named Madsen and a Swedish journalist named Kim Wall. Moving on to the Middle East, we have Saudi guards killed in rare attack at King's Palace. It's a pretty massive story that broke over the weekend. And that's what Monday shows are about. It's not just what happens on Monday, but what happens over the weekend as well. So this is a pretty crazy situation. The Saudi family is generally people who have worked well with the West and with Israel. So it's shocking that there was an attack on the castle there, and likely done by terrorists. They definitely have a lot of enemies in the Muslim world. So check this story out. There was also a state visit to Russia. Okay. All that is in the story. Thank you for this story, ynetnews.com. Now we're going to go and jump to the Philippines. So, the Philippines, how are you? We have a very interesting article on this group. I don't think this article. I've been trying to find more information on the Marawi victims movement, and all I've really found is different articles with sort of casing them as scary, or and I found a guy ranting about them on Facebook, saying that they're threatening the government and they're another terrorist group and this, that, and the other. So I'm very interested to know more about them. Please contact me if you are watching this and you know anything about the Marawi victims movement. If you know anyone living in Lanao de Sur, if you know anyone in the region who is abreast to the situation or knows specifically people who are affected by the Marawi siege. And this video also, or this link also has a video. Check that out. This is Inquirer, the Inquirer, not the American one, but the Filipino one. So Inquirer.net. So check that out. Gonna move on to another group here, an established group in the Philippines, the NPA, or the New People's Army. Which one came first? Let's do this one first. This one happened before this, over the weekend. The New People's Army disarmed Cagayan mayor's security and burns equipment. Members of the Communist New People's Army disarmed the security personnel of a Cagayan town's chief executive and burn a construction company's heavy equipment in a neighboring town on Saturday. This isn't a good idea. They are, I think they're playing this game a little too fast and loose, and they're being a little too cocky, a little too out there. I don't know how else to put this, but Duterte's gunning for you, and you keep messing with people like this, it's gonna happen. NPA atrocities impede Cagayan Valley growth. So this is a follow-up to that story before. The Philippine National Police in Cagayan Valley on Sunday condemned in the strongest possible terms the series of atrocities carried out by the Communist New People's Army rebels, saying it blocks economic growth in the region. PNP Region 2 Director Chief excuse me, Robert Kineri said the Cagayan Valley Police particularly denounce the acts being perpetrated by the NPA Henry Abraham Command in the towns of Bugay and Santa Teresita on Saturday. Okay, now this is referring to what we were talking about before here. So this is an ever-developing story. I think if you follow the body count report, if you look at the link list, I really get interested in the NPA. Also, at the moment, if you're watching this now, 10/10/2017, the body count reports host, the Antisocial News. I put NPA in the logo because they're so interesting. They're such an interesting bunch of yucks that I had to put them in there. And you know, I do have to say I have respect for their ability to stave off the military and that 30-minute back and forth gunfire attack, and they survived. They had to leave their stuff and scoot off to the hills because of course they did, but they survived, which is makes them scrappy in my book. But still a group that is I think playing they're writing checks that they cannot cash. So this is going to be, I think it's going to be a sad end for the NPA. It's not going to get them any greater respect in the area, and I could be wrong. I mean, this could be a situation where it's a fundraising situation. Whenever they butt heads with the local governments, they get money from China or North Korea. Who knows? Who knows who wants to give them money to continue representing communism so poorly in Mindanao and the south of the Philippines? Who knows? We'll find out. We'll keep following these stories. It's very interesting to see. And I think with that, I'm going to have to call this an episode. I very much hope that you tune in. The next, this is a late upload, so the next upload should come very quickly. And I apologize for lateness, but you will get, as always, 5 body count reports a week from me, as I've done for 10 weeks. I can't believe I hit 50 episodes. And for everyone who has subscribed, thank you so much. If you have not subscribed, I challenge you to subscribe. And my challenge to you is, if I have enlightened you to a news story that you had not known about, such as the Saudi Arabia attack against the palace, they killed 3, or the New People's Army stories in the Philippines. If you have not heard of these stories, I think I earned your subscription, and I hope you tune in. This is Sully for Antisocial News Body Count Report for Monday, October the 9th, 2017, and I hope everyone stays safe out there. Cheers.